During the 80s and well into the late 90s, action figures were thriving with well-known stores like KB Toys and Toys R Us. And as someone who likes to consider himself a toy collector, I sometimes thought about what my action figures do when I'm asleep, because thanks to movies like Toy Story and my fond appreciation to collecting G.I. Joes, amongst many other sci-fi and fantasy brands and properties, what happens when you take both concepts and mix them all together? Well, you end up getting something that no one expected, and to be quite honest, it left an everlasting impression to becoming one of my all-time favorite movies to date. Small Soldiers was released in 1998, and holy shit, is this a movie I can never get tired of watching. Not only is this a badass version of Toy Story, but when toys come to life while containing two factions fighting to end each other's existence, how can you not love it? The basic premise of the film is that a toy company named Heartland Toys is purchased by a military division in which they accidentally include highly advanced microprocessing chips called the X-1000 within them. This allows the figures to communicate with unique responses, questions, and most importantly, movement. On one side you have Irwin Wayfair, who created the mysterious mystical creatures called the Gorgonites, whom are programmed to hide and lose, consisting of 6 characters named Archer the Leader, Slamfist, Insaniac, Troglodyte or Freakenstein, Punch It and Scratch It, and Ocula. And then you have Larry Benson, who created the Commando Elites, whom are designed as military soldiers programmed to seek and destroy the enemy target, consisting of Major Chip Hazard the Leader, Butch Meathook, Link Static, Nick Nitro, Brick Bazooka, and Kip Killigan. And last but not least, you have Alan Abernathy, a troubled young kid who gets in the middle of the war due to helping out his father in his failing toy store business. The movie also has scenes with human interactions, but I'll keep this review about the toys. I will say the beginning of the movie is every kid's wet dream. To see how these action figures are made with lasers, prototypes, and the assembly line makes you drool on how much you want these figures to really exist. Because when you see the Commando Elites come alive at night and breaking out of their packaging, it's enough to put a smile on your face and say, yeah, now that's good shit. Even when they're doing their roll call with the strict vocals of Tommy Lee Jones is extremely fitting, that in fact it will literally want you to take out your G.I. Joes or action figures to reenact the scenes. And one thing I do give them credit for in this movie is that they're not afraid to kill off recruits, cause when you see the death of Nick Nitro, it almost adds more emotion. Implementing the stakes to seek and destroy the Gorgonites mean a lot more now, as they are one man down. Yet all their scenes are just fantastic, from Brick Bazooka injuring himself on a mission, Link Static utilizing his skills in different environments, and then the group creating their own vehicles and weapons in the garage, which was extremely innovative. And let's not forget the creepy scene where they convert the neighbor Chrissy's Gwendy dolls into traumatizing recruits with demorphed features and brutal upgrades. It's something definitely not for kids. I love how the Gorgonites are each distinctive in their own way, and although as a kid it's easy to accommodate their appearance as the villains, but as fate would have it, they're actually the good guys. Despite this outcome, I remember my friends and I would always be on the soldier side, rooting for the villains. Regardless whose team you're on, there's one pretty deep conversation between Archer and Alan, as not only are the Gorgonites optimistic in searching for their homeland called Gorgon, but during this interaction, Archer wants to know about the unknown, beyond what eyes can see, and Alan uses the metaphor of wind, stating that just because you can't see something doesn't mean it isn't there. And although Alan knows Gorgon doesn't exist because these are just toys, Archer hits him back with the same quote, thus remaining hopeful that Gorgon is out there somewhere. As the movie progresses, you don't really get too much of a backstory as to why these toys are battling with each other, and honestly, it doesn't really matter much unless you really want to dive deep into it. Nonetheless, the movie offers some decent CGI and animatronics at the same time, blending them pretty well. Although it can be a little outdated today, I still love it. There's also the inclusion of using some adult words to make the movie a little more edgy and not really suitable for kids, which proves why it's hardcore. And not only that, we also see some blood a few times, like when the Commando Elites invade Alan's home to kidnap and kill Archer in the kitchen and during the final battle scene. Because it is until this moment, after an incident that causes the original last remaining Commando Elites to be destroyed when chasing Alan and Chrissy, Major Chip Hazard finds a way to create reinforcements which allows the Gorgonites to finally come out of hiding and partake in the war once and for all. Although Archer tries to become heroic, unfortunately he kinda sucked and got his ass kicked, resulting in Alan to actually save the day and destroying Major Chip Hazard and all the other Commando Elites with an EMP. And as much as I hated that this movie had to come to an end, I absolutely love the final scene. Alan puts all the Gorgonites whom he thought died in the war on a toy boat in search for their quest of Gorgon. You can tell it has an October fall vibes with the golden leaves and sweaters, as well as indicating Oktoberfest on the banner in the beginning of the film. But anyways, as the Gorgonites set sail, they leave Alan with an emotional farewell with a beautiful landscape of trees, mountains, and water flowing in the background, giving any child at the time who watched it hopes that they find Gorgon for a better life. Overall, I love this movie. There's a lot of action, chaos, and destruction. I often find myself watching it time to time because it just reminds me of my childhood. My father actually took my friend and I to our small local movie theater by my house and came out of it excited, amazed, and full of enjoyment. Building hype to return home to play with our action figures and hoping they would battle it out too. Although there are action figures created by Hasbro in 1998 with an incomplete roster, till this day, no company has decided to recreate these or bring them back to life other than those who wanted to have customs. And with a few books and some video games, this franchise has left diehard fans wanting more. Despite its poor reviews at the time, it is now considered a classic. It made me want to become a toy designer, or just someone who worked in a company that created action figures. That ending scene with CEO Gil Mars talking about investing the Commando Elites for the military made us all assume we'd get a sequel, but it never happened. My inner child still wishes for a part 2, but the adult version of me says, sometimes it's better to not fix what isn't broken. Let me know in the comments below what you think of Small Soldiers, and I'll talk to you all next episode.